it's a new release for 2024, and I thought I'd be, one of the first ones to sort of do it and cover it for you guys. So in this pack, you can see that you get 48 detailed figures, and you have a selection of different heads and body poses. So we will unbox this for you right now, and we'll have a look in the bags and show you exactly what you get. Okay, so like the packet says, you get 48 detailed figures. You get a heap of different head options and all the instructions that come on the back. So that's sort of what you are looking at. So most part, there are specific arms and they will go into certain bodies, but for the most part, you will get, it says that you can use any shields and you can swap around some of the arms. You just have to dry fit them, sort of thing. So I like that little detail there that they've added, that you don't have to stick to the instructions, just try it out before you do it. You can see there's some cool head options here, and they've changed up some of the lithorax and torso options to some of this like scale plated and then the bronzy kind of style as well. Then you've got the classical here too. So let's crack into that. You have in the box that many sprues. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sprues on there. Heap of plastic. Now I got this from Victrix. We're based in New Zealand, so this cost around about $70 New Zealand for this packet. And let's just have a look at the sprue right now. So we'll start off. That is, see if we can get that all in frame view. There is the entirety of the sprue, and let's just cover that off now. So let's start with some of the head options. So you have some really nice like Corinthian style ones. They've gone Corinthian heavy because I think that was a criticism of the old kits, like the Athenian hoplite kit and the mercenary hoplite kit, was that there were a lot of there's a lack of that. These are sort of more towards like the Hollywood style or imaging of what you would think a hoplite to be. So and no doubt these helmets were definitely around. It just gives you a bit more variety kind of thing. So these are generic Greek, so they should fit a range of different, how would you say, areas in Greece, different factions like Athens, Sparta, Rome, different parts of, not Rome, sorry, things like maybe even Macedonia as well. You have some really cool plumage, so you have the kind of upsticking helmet, which is kind of just raised off the helm, which is nice. You have these very thick forward to back, and then you've got the tufts on the end as well. There's some plain stuff there, lots of detail. There's a bit of dynamism, and he's kind of shouting, which is quite nice. And you can even see there's actual detail on that top part of the bottom part of the plumage there, little triangles, which is a nice touch. Some of the models have beards, like this chap in the corner. So you can see that is the selection of heads. This guy here and this guy here seem to have the open-faced positions, and they could be Theban or something along those lines. Let's flip it over and look at the other heads before we move on to any of the other body parts. You have got another set of heads here, another open-faced, sort of a crossed plume. This one here actually has, it looks to be several wee dots in the shape of something. Let's see if I can get that to focus there. It's like a little bow tie looking kind of thing. This helmet here is probably my favorite. That's kind of screams to me like commanding Spartan officer or something like that. You got another sort of just a plain helmet there. This one here is very interesting. It's like a serpent themed double plume, which is very interesting. He again might be another commander. Top corner here, this guy has some sort of symbols on his cheeks. It's very hard to actually make that out. It might be a bull or a horse, possibly. And comes with the plumage. You've got a guy here who has some longer hair and possibly a beard. What does the instructions say? That is it H69? A nice number. Is it H69? Or is that A11? A11 doesn't actually say on the back here. It doesn't give you an A11 on here. They haven't listed the A11 apparently. I know A11 is a part of the arms. No, they haven't even listed the A11. So you can have a quick look there. They haven't listed it. Never mind. I think it's a beard or part of the hair, or it might be part of this model's head. There's the plume for it as well. And here is like I guess a more Macedonian themed kind of head as well. So that's your head selection. So in total, you've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15 heads of sprue, which is quite nice. We can move on to some of the hand pieces here. So you've got some sheathed swords. You've got, these are all your arms for the shield. So they actually have 2 points of contact on those, which is really nice. You've got some more over this side on the left here. Sword choices. So you've got a varying style here. You've got a plain, is it called Zephos? Not entirely sure of that style, but it's quite cool. Is it the Copus? And that might just be another one. And they're kind of this, they've got handbands on them as well, which look really nice. They've done a great job of those. Now, moving on to the spears. One thing that I think they've done an outstanding job of, particularly with this kit, I'm just having a quick look over it. As you can see here, you have an overarm hand and an underarm hand. So what that means is that you can have, all of your guys can have the overhand spear, which means that all the spears can be facing upwards, not in an overhead thrusting position, but by your side, all in a nice rank and file, so they're all nice and tidy. Or you can have them in that more of an action pose, which gives you that over the head. So I really like how they've done that. You can have your front rank as the guys straight up and down or pointing towards the enemy, and then you can have them or over the head in that kind of throw-in position or overhead stab position, which is really cool. You get enough in here to do all the models on the sprue like that. So if you want them all a certain way, you can have them a certain way. I think that's a really good consideration from the Victrix team. And then, of course, here is your Heroes version as well, with your different pieces there. Right, onto the torsos and the bodies. So very dynamic poses. You can see that there's a difference there of that sort of scale mail on the chest. This comes in 2 parts for some reason. Maybe you can squiff them around into a different position. I have no idea. They all come with little arm attachments. I'll flip it around. There you've got my favorite body there, which is that sort of bronze chest plate, standard style which was seen in other kits. And then this is a new style as well, which has got that sort of nice scale on the bottom there. A bit more dynamic. Some of them are just standing sort of up and down. This guy here, there will be extra bits for him for those arm pieces, which is quite cool. You get a couple of different styles of sheath and even different swords there as well. Shields are all just the standard hoplite shields, so you get 6 of those. There's your alternative, there's your other spears. Now, one bit that I did see was this bit here, which I think connects on to maybe this body. What's that? That looks like A3B. And if we look at the chart here, A3B is for one of the spear arms. So possibly as just a different angled spear arm. You've got a grimace looking guy there with a head, holding a head. Some more sword options. So if you wanted to make a full rank of swords, you probably could. And then there's some more shield arms up the top there. And then you've got your heads. So all in all, I think a fantastic sprue. I'm going to come back very quickly shortly and give you the some of the models built up together so you can see them what they look like built. Rightio, we are back and I just wanted to show you some of the models built up so we can go through that. One of the things I didn't actually mention about the entire thing is that there is an instruction guide too. So it gives you all the different heads and all the bodies and all the list of numbers of the parts, which is like a cool, definitely a cool little improvement from Victrix just to include that. Really, really clear. And in fact, some of these parts will fit on some of the other models as well. It's just a matter of dry fitting, which is really, really cool. So that's a good inclusion from Victrix. Let's talk about some of the heads and the compositions. I think for my personal tastes, I was happy with majority of the figures. You can see this guy's come together really well. One of the things that I'm being a little bit pedantic about, I guess, is they're a little lungy. So yeah, they're a little. I know they're supposed to be action posed, but they're a little bit lungy. I know you can't. It's not a problem really to have, but they look very good. I love the helmets. Helmets look great. You can see this guy here. If we can get it to focus here. He's sort of like chanting like the way forward, and he's really, really nice. There was only one of the models that was a 2-part for the torso, and that was this guy down here on the end. So this is just one sprue that I've made up. One of the things that I found, which was very, very nice, was Victrix have done a really good job of improving the strength and durability of the spears without making them look super comic, which I found was really great. I had to play with the Macedonian Hypastus Macedonian Greeks kind of thing, and you could make them into hoplites as well, and their spears were just really, really flimsy. I've already broken 2. In fact, I might even consider taking their arms off and putting these arms on because they're just so much better. Most of the hand poses, if you want to angle them upwards, are sort of this like, chanting kind of style, but yeah, still really nice. Coming to my favorite model of the bunch here, this is the one that I made the kind of leader, like the Spartan leader, and I decided to do a wee bit of kit bashing and just put that the cape from the Athenian Hoplites kit on there, because this of course does not come with a command sprue. So whilst the poses are quite dynamic and you got some of the really, really cool hit options, they're not actually any command sprues in there specifically, so that you don't get things like I don't think there was a horn in there, for example, and I don't think there was, there's no banner in there. So if you're looking for a command sprue, you're probably going to have to get one from one of the other kits. And so I have a funny feeling that Victrix might come out with a Greek Heroes pack, possibly. This guy was interesting. So what I thought was a beard was actually his hair out the back, which I did not expect. But hey, that's quite a cool, interesting model. He's a little bit skinnier than the rest, and he's got this kind of like, almost like he's tripped over kind of thing. But that's a cool pose and a cool, cool helmet. So I like that. This one here is very dynamic, sort of lunging forward. I really like that crest. If anyone can tell me what that crest is called, that would be really, really cool. I like those, the look of those very much. He's kind of jousting that that spear forward. And you can see just the thickness of the spear there. I'll just flick it. Look how rigid that is. It's going to take quite a bit. In fact, it's probably, without going too far, probably one of the best plastic spears I've ever seen. And felt just with the thickness of it, which is nice. Put them together is really easy. All the heads pretty much go on. Now, one of the things I wanted to try out was I wanted to see if this was kit bashable. So this is the old Athenian body with the left shield arm, and this is a helmet from the new set and a arm from the new set. And you can see I've actually kind of lined it up a wee bit derpy on there, but it works together. The scale's fine, helmet's fine. They look great. So there you have it, folks. That was been the Greek Hoplites kit. I'm going to have to go ahead and say that that is probably my favourite Victrix ancient set that I've had. I've had a few Romans and the Celts and all that kind of stuff. I think these guys are the coolest, mainly because of the theme. A little bit biased towards that, but they just look fantastic. This guy, honestly, is everything that I wanted in a miniature for a Greek commander. So I'm really happy, and I'm going to play around some kit bashing and try some stuff out. There's a couple of different heads there that I didn't use, so out of that pack I actually ended up with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spare heads, all the sword arms, and I've still got about 3 or 4 different spear options to do as well. So that's going to be really cool. So awesome. This has been a great review. I like these models a lot. This kit's going to be fantastic. And if you like these sorts of reviews, I'm doing a wee bit more of this sort of stuff now. So if you hit that subscribe, you'll be able to see a wee few videos pop up here and there about some of the Victrix kits. And also there'll be some wee projects in the future. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.